Hi everyone, so on the last video on the channel I revealed to you guys the new rebuild project, which is this 2016 Audi A6. As the A6 was a non-runner, I also got it running on the last video by changing the pyro fuse. Fingers crossed guys, 3, 2, 1. And we've got a runner. Just before we get on to today's video guys, I just want to do a quick announcement. As the channel has now hit 5,000 subscribers, I'm going to do a competition. And even better, a completely free competition. That's correct guys, completely free. I was having a quick think, what's a good prize for a free competition? You guys see me on the tools on every video, so I want to give a chance to one of you lucky subscribers to win some free tools. So the prize is going to be a Halfords Advance 100-piece tool set and a Halfords Advance screwdriver set. They're both going to be brand new and sealed, and they both come with lifetime warranty. So the question for this competition is going to be, how much is the total rebuild price? So that's the purchase price and the rebuild both together, so the complete price to rebuild this Audi A6. And I'll give you a quick clue. On the first video I did show you how much the car cost me with the fees. I told you how much the delivery price was, and even better guys, I did say as well what I roughly think the part's going to cost for this Audi A6, so that might help with your answer for this competition. So your answer, I just want to the nearest pound. I want to try and make it as easy as I can for you guys. I don't want, for example, 10,213p, just 10,200 for example. Unfortunately, it's going to be UK residents only for this competition, and you also need to be subscribed to the channel. It's one entry per subscriber. Just leave your guess in the comments guys. So the closing date, I haven't actually got a date just yet. Basically this is going to be a 5-episode rebuild. So what I'm thinking for now, I've never done a competition, so if you can think of a better way, let me know in the comments. But I'm thinking the closing date will be 5 days after the 4th video, so now I can draw who the winner is. So I have also thought, let's say there's 20 people that have chose the same price and they're the winner. I will then have to do another draw with 20 of those names, and then it will be one person out of the 20 to win. So when I'm editing the 5th video, I can then do the draw on that video. Yeah, if this goes well, I might do this on every rebuild. We'll see. I want to wish you all good luck for the competition. But yeah, massive thank you to all you guys that are subscribed to the channel, that continually watch the videos and like. But yeah, let's get on to today's video. Basically, we're going to be stripping down the Audi A6, so I know what parts I need to get, and see if there is actually any structural damage to this car. So it's now on actual stands. I've removed both front wheels. I need to remove the lower arch liner, so that's that plastic piece just here. Hopefully the passenger side one's not damaged, because that was, I remember rebuilding the previous A6, that was on back order for months, so hopefully the passenger side one's all good. But I need to remove that lower one because that does screw into the bottom of the bumper, and I'm not going to take the whole arch liner out, not on the driver's side anyway. I think I'll have to on the passenger side because I'm going to have to remove the wing, but driver's side, just going to pull the carpet too, just so I can get to the bolts for the bumper. I currently haven't got my microphone plugged in, but hopefully you'll hear me alright. So basically, you've got a T25 torque screw that goes through the end of the bumper just here into the wing bumper bracket. But you remember I said about that 10mm bolt? It's not very long at all. It's a bit awkward. If you don't know that it's there, you try and rip this bumper off. Obviously, this screw goes into basically a captive nut just here, and where it is situated, see this circle where my finger's pointing towards? The bolt, the 10mm bolt, is through that hole. It is a bit awkward to get onto, and then literally that corner then just pulls off. So I need to do that to the opposite side. And then if there is any screws holding this bumper still on, take the screws off just here and underneath. Literally then that bumper will be off. I'll be able to show you better on the passenger side. So that bolt I was telling you about, the bumper in the corner through this hole. Obviously normally the 10mm socket with an extension bar just goes straight on it. But where this bumper is damaged round, I can't get to that bolt. As I need a replacement wing, what I've done, I've just made this gap bigger so I can get a spanner, just because obviously where it's hit it, I can't get the socket from behind how you normally should be able to. So I've got some good news. Yes, the passenger arch liner, yes, it's dirty, but, oh, nearly falling back. It's not broken. So this is like a felt carpet material, and as you can see, all the holes, nothing's ripped up, which is brilliant news. And the lower plastic pieces, both sides are all good. So I did say a minute ago on the previous A6 I rebuilt, one of these was on back order for months, so that's brilliant news. So now all that's left for the bumper. Yeah, so normally you'll have a little torque screw just here, as you can see. You'd normally have the top radiator cover, which is in the boot, broken. But this side, as you can see, it's already disconnected, it's broke. Normally as well, I'll just get underneath, you'd normally have loads of screws going along this, but it's been ripped off from the accident. So, but there is another bit of good news. Yes, maybe this piece is broke, but the actual under tray, yes, there's some antifreeze there because obviously the rads are gone, but the actual under tray is not damaged at all, which is good news, because for some reason, yes, under trays are normally made out of carpet or plastic, but they're always expensive, so that's one less expense. So I obviously normally I would take the screws off underneath. I don't need to. So the only screw that is left for the front bumper is that little one just there. So I'll just get this last screw undone. See if this corner, I think this corner is going to give me the most grief, because it's literally pushed into the crash bar. That's part of the headlight. That's unclipped. Just need to make sure there's no... the wiring harness plugs in from this side. Right. Just get this one unplugged. That from there. And there we have it. Might have got lucky there. I think the ambient sensor's not damaged. That's still quite heavy and there's hardly anything left. So the bumper's now off, and also when I took the bumper off, I've also found out where the water leak was from. So when I jacked this car up from the driver's side first, I went to do the passenger side and there was a massive puddle of water underneath. It wasn't pink, so it wasn't antifreeze. So what I found out it is, basically you've got a pipe just here which I've unplugged. So this pipe goes to the hose for the headlight washer pumps. And you've got the screen washer bottle just in that corner of the wing on the passenger side. So that connects to this pipe just here, which then leads to the passenger headlight washer pump. This one's broke, it should go just here with these two screws. And then it gradually goes along to the driver's one. Driver's pump looks all good, but the hose is split in many locations. You can see here, one there, another split here, and I think another split up there. It is different to the previous A6 because that was a rubber hose. This is more like what goes like on wiring harnesses, etc. But yeah, so when I was lifting the bumper, just moving it in further into the unit, water was just dripping out of it. So that's where the water's come out of. What else can I save of? Well, what can I save on this bumper? Not much at all. That headlight washer pump, I think the wiring, obviously the wiring harness for the parking sensors, you've got one here. There should be, there it is. One just here, and obviously another two just this side. And I think that's about it, what I can save. The crash bar foam is had it, as you can see. Everything else is destroyed. So the lower under tray that goes underneath the bumper, that is had it as well. So not much I can save at all on this one, but that's what happens when you rebuild crash damaged cars. You expect that you're going to be replacing everything. So a couple of other things I've seen that are broke. Both air guides for the radiator. So this one's all broke. Driver's one is broke as well, as you see. Both lower headlight brackets, they had it, as if you can just see just here. But now I'm gonna get both headlights out. So just off camera, I've had a look where the bolts should be for where the headlight fixed to the car. Everything's broke, so it looks like it's just gonna be a little bit of force to pull this out. I have undone the plugs off the headlight off camera, so I'm just gonna give it a pull and just hopefully it'll come out. Don't sound nice. So that's the passenger one. Like we knew this one was fully broke anyway from the front. From what I can see, there's just two modules on this big square one just here and a smaller one just here. So I assume these are working, hopefully. As expected, the driver's headlight is damaged as well. It don't look as bad as obviously the passenger side, but there's cracks all over the place. There's where's the best way for me to show you? Where the mould is just here, this is the mould from the headlight. There's a crack. This is a hairline crack along here. There's also some more. If I turn it this way, I need to sweep up. This is just all a mess from this car. There's another crack going along here. You can see all the damage in here as well. So unfortunately, I will have to get 2 replacement headlights, but I've got all the modules, luckily. Next thing I'm going to do, before I start taking the front panel off and all the rest, I'm just going to remove the air filter box. So I'll undo the clamp just here that goes to the airflow meter. So this pipe's the intake pipe to the turbo. Undo that clamp, undo the plug for the airflow meter, and pull the airbox out. The only reason I'm doing that, guys, once we've got the full front end off, I need to inspect both chassis legs, top, bottom, and both sides. If there's any kinks, bulging, any physical damage, it needs checking properly. So I'll quickly get that done, and then we'll get all this rad pack off. So there's just one more thing I'm doing to prepare for the front end, well, front panel rad pack to come off. I'm just disconnecting all the radiator hoses and the plug for the fans. The plug for the fans on the drive side. I've just removed the top hose just here. I've also just unplugged this one from the expansion bottle. I've got 2 pipes right at the bottom. So these 2 just here, that's for the heat exchange radiator. And there's also through here the lower radiator hose. And obviously I've got the plug for the fan, sorry. That red plug just there, I've just got to unplug that. So then that just prepares me. There's just a couple of other wires, like the horn, airbag crash sensor. There's another plug here that goes to, well, I have undone that one, I ain't gonna lie. That goes to this actuator just here on the bonnet latch. You've got one either side. So I've just used this tool, just hose clamp pliers, to undo these. And I don't know if you can see that, guys. I think the heat exchanger radiator is holding fluid. So that one might be alright. As you can see, it's coming not just from the hose, it's actually coming out the cooler itself, so I've made a bit of a mess. The lower hose for the radiator, as soon as I pop that one, it still has some fluid at the bottom. But I've just done, there's one T30 Torx through here for the heat exchange radiator. So now that will push up, lift. There is no screw on this side, it is just, it's starting to come out more now. Clipped in just here on the end and literally at the top. So I'm going to remove that now, but there's me thinking I would be able to use this. I don't think I'm going to, because where this crash bar is banarded in, pushed down a little bit. Can you see it's done some damage just here? So luckily they're not too expensive. They're cheaper than, because obviously I did price one up for the A1 when I rebuilt that, because obviously that one had it, but I didn't need one. I think for that car it was like 300, but for this it's 100 new, so it's not the end of the world. I've got that off now, and as I expected, it has vinylers just there. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put my hands on the end of the two, the inlet and the outlet. Watch this thing, guys. You see it's dripping. I need to clean up the floor anyway. This has had it, so that's a good little demonstration. Nice and easy way to check if it's leaking. So I'm going to need a new one of them. Condenser, there's holes right through it, so I know there's no AC gas in that, 100%. So it don't need emptying before I can obviously undo the pipe. So now the charge cooler radiator is removed. I think most of the fluid has come out the radiator now. I've got a bucket there just in case. But yeah, I've done a couple of things off camera. I've removed both bonnet latches that sit here, and obviously the same for this side, and the bonnet cable. So this bit stays on the car. It just goes through this top post just here. And I've removed one of the under trays. There's two on this. One, you probably can just see it there, covers the gearbox, and a small one just here that covers the sump, because that does screw onto the bottom of the front panel. So next thing, I'm just going to let you know, guys, I am going to remove this as one whole unit just to save time, because we already know the crash bar is no good, the condenser and the radiators had it, and also the front panel is no good, as it does have a split just here. We'll find out when I've removed this if the radiator fan is okay, but I don't think it's going to be any good. Maybe if the shroud is damaged and if the both fans were, I can just get a replacement shroud, but we'll see when I remove it. So next step will be, I'm just going to unplug all these plugs, so the horn, the crash sensor, AC pressure sensor, same again this side, the horn and the crash sensor, and then just two pipes for the AC condenser. One just here, which is T30 Torx that holds it on, and one just under here, just here. But yeah, there is no AC gas. As you can see, it's all split through. If you can hear, no gas come out. And then what I'll do when I fit the new one, I'll just get two replacement O-rings, one for this one and one for the other. One more and we can get this front panel off. So the bolts I've got left to get the whole front panel off, two T30 Torx at the top, one either end, one just here either side, and then I've got three 16mm bolts per side of the crash bar. So I'll undo the crash bar, these T30s first, then it will just be left with the top ones, which I'll do last. So as I expected, the fan unfortunately is broke, which that means a complete front end is required for this car, apart from the driver's wing. So the cowling's broke just here in the middle. This fan is so stiff to move, so I'm going to replace the complete unit. So I'm just going to quickly move the front panel out the way, guys, and then I can show you both chassis legs. And the last thing I want to do in today's video is just remove that damaged passenger wing. Then that's pretty much the whole front end stripped down, apart from the bonnet. As you know, guys, I haven't ordered any parts yet. I just wanted to make sure what I actually needed, so I can remove the bonnet at a later date. It will just be in the way for now. So the chassis legs, I'll start with the passenger side first. So the inner side, There is no kinks or buckles or any visible damage. Same on the top. As you can see, that's probably a better view just there. Underneath, you're not going to see much because there's brackets. Then you've got the subframe. But the outside of the chassis leg, also this is not damaged. This is like an electric water pump. So you've got two pipes at the bottom. They're the pipes that goes to the charge cooler radiator. And the upper pipe goes to the charge cooler, which is underneath the engine cover. I'll just come this side of the chassis leg. No damage at all, which is brilliant news. Just onto the front of the engine quickly. Nothing has been touched at all. So this black plastic cover, that's the cam belt cover. Obviously you've got the crankshaft pulley, the AC compressor, alternator, and the alternator belt tensioner. There's no power steering pump on this because they're electric. But what I'm going to do as well, because this isn't a later Audi, the service history is digitally. So I'll have a look at the paperwork I've got. If I can't see anything, I'll go see my friend at Audi and get him to do me a printout. If it's not had a cam belt, I will change the cam belt and I'll do an auxiliary belt as well. Because yes, it's very low mileage, but the age, it's 66 plate, so it's, how old's that? 6, 7 years old? I can't remember, but it's obviously getting time to change it due to the age. And to change the cam belt on these, you have to remove the front end. So as I've got the front end off, perfect time. This thing just here, that is, obviously that's the cover. That's the catalytic converter. And then the DPF is just here. None of that's been touched either. This alloy, I think that's, well, that's an engine mount just there. But none of that's been touched. The inner side of the driver's chassis leg, same again, all good. On top, spot on. On the sides, all good. But this chassis leg, the end cap, which I always call the ham, that's where the crash bar bolts up to. If you see the passenger one, that's nice and straight. This one does need straightening. If you can see there, it starts straight. It's just kinked that just on this corner. But that will be nice and simple to straighten. But brilliant news. As you know, this car is a category N, non-structural. It did look quite sorry for itself, you know, proper. Looking at the photos, I assumed it looks like a Cat S, but I think I got quite lucky on this one, guys. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to remove that passenger wing, and that's going to be it for today's video. I've already taken the S-Line badge off, because I'll reuse that. I don't know how long this video is going to be today, guys, but I'll probably most likely just do this on time-lapse quickly. Just got to take these covers off to expose the bolts at the top. Once I remove those bolts at the top, I've then got to remove the screen washer bottle. There's two 10mm bolts, one just here, one just here. Undo a couple of the electric connectors for the pumps. Then there'll be a couple of bolts on the inside, and there's a couple down here. So that one just there you don't touch that one in the middle. You touch one at the front, and then when I remove that screen washer bottle, there's then a black plastic trim. Once I remove that, that exposes the bolt at the back. What I have done, I've cleaned inside the bolts. I use the airline. So if you're going to do this job on any car, personally, changing a wing, always clean this area because it always gets filled up with muck or mud, and they go inside because these are T30 Torques. They get filled up with mud, and you can easily round them off. So if you've got access to like an air compressor, just blow it out or use like a dustpan and brush. So the damaged wing is now off. Probably see on time lapse, I did start emptying it. And to be honest, guys, that screen washing that absolutely stank like stale. But then I thought, why do I need to take the whole thing off when there's enough slack on the pipes? You probably see, just laying it on top of the disc, just to gain access to those two bolts for the wing on, obviously, in this area. But yeah, the top apron is spot on, which is brilliant news. And to be honest, guys, the actual wing bracket looks straight, but I think they're only £15 brand new from either Audi or TPS, so it's better to be safe than sorry. But I'm absolutely chuffed. So the only thing that needs doing is just to straighten that end cap, which is not a biggie. You can just see where it's just there. But yeah, let us know what you think, guys, in the comments. Was this a good buy? So that's going to be an end for today's video. We got quite a bit done. I've now know what I need to order. I don't know which video, what's going to be next either. Obviously, I need to start ordering all the bits. I don't know if it's going to be the inside first or building up the, obviously, the front end. Whatever I can get first, we'll do that first. Appreciate you all for watching. If you did like today's video, smash that like button, as it really does help with the YouTube algorithm. And if you are new, guys, click that subscribe button. It is totally free, and the bell icon so you get a notification when I do a new upload. If you need to DM me for anything, on Instagram, Nathan_Hiley, or the dedicated email address, which is Nathan_Hiley@outlook.com. Right, I'll see you in the next video.